Hi,
Howdy.
everybody.
How's it going? Oh,
Well, I want to start off with saying thank you to Blair Hamburg. He sent me the mail this week some cigars. And so instead of my cheapo, he says this is handmade in Miami, rolled on the thighs of island women.
nice.
Now,
Solid.
I cannot attest.
Does it smell like coconut oil?
It does not smell like coconut oil, which was my first thought. But do they use that much coconut oil because they don't use a lot of sunscreen?
That's fair enough. Yeah, that's true.
So like dry, smooth skin would not leave an aroma. But I'm a little scared because I told him I like mild cigars, and he calls this his what do you call it? Medium to bold. And I had to dig up this because my cheap cigars actually have a hole drilled in the back of them. You don't have to cut them. So anyway, hey, thanks, Blair.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, you'll have to tell me how that is. I mean, anything rolled in the thighs of a island woman is something that's,
right. Ooh,
isn't that a sweet mustache?
It's a little scary.
Matt Zoll is commenting on your mustache. He apparently hasn't seen it yet.
No, nice mustache, Ron. I gotta see my here's cheers, boys. Yeah.
Cheers.
Does it smell like tires? Where's my beer? Oh, there's my beer.
See, thank you very much, Brock. I appreciate that. I got a special treat for you next week.
Yeah. I'm gonna let this thing get so big that I'm gonna look like Wilford Brimley.
Are you going to start doing ads for diabetes?
Yep. If I get any fatter, I'm going to have diabetes.
Your intros are long enough. You don't need to start doing diabetes intros.
I think there might be something to that. I released a couple of those midweek podcasts. Just
right.
One guy wanted me to do it. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And then he wrote me back. He goes, well, as long as you did Delmer, why don't you do Rick Arani? So I dug that one up, and no commercials in front of it. And I got more downloads than I've gotten in the last 6 months.
I think once a month you should just do a pure buy yourself commercial for like an hour. That'd be fantastic. I would watch. Listen. Yeah. I would listen.
Boy, you got to really... It's like lighting a log.
Apparently, they had really strong thighs. They got that thing wound pretty tight.
Nick is off.
I've seen people do this in cigar stores. I don't know why, but oh, good Lord.
Nick is either trying to grow a stash or he is trying to chase a beard.
Nick is waiting for the costume store to open up so he can buy a mustache. He ain't never gonna grow one.
Ron grew this one in like 4 days.
Right.
Nick hasn't shaved since the shelter in place thing started.
This cigar is called the Last Call. I like the name of that, Last Call. It just that'd be a good name for a podcast, wouldn't it? I don't know why, but Last Call. Maybe it's just because I've heard Last Call my whole life.
Mm-hmm. It's like the saddest time of night.
God, I can remember being bummed out. Be sitting somewhere and all of a sudden the lights flash once. And you're like, oh, come on. you didn't realize that you've literally been there for 5 hours, right?
Right.
You're that drunk that you think it's closing early.
Yeah. When I started going to college, they went from a 1 a.m. closing time in Fargo to a 2 a.m. closing time, like halfway through my junior year. And I thought that was the best idea in the entire world till I actually worked in a bar, and I was like, this is stupid. Would you guys just all go home? Like, there's nothing good that happens from 1 to 2 in the morning. Nothing at all. Unless you're like, at home.
Oh, there's Lori. Lori's the only girl that took her pants off and held a gun case on with her new Rough Grouse shirt.
Yeah. It was right after you modeled in your underwear, right?
Yep.
So you
Hey,
guys
look
got
what I got on. Look what I got on. I got the new Rough Grouse shirt on.
nice.
That's pretty badass.
Other
is
than
nice.
that word down here, I don't like the pike part. But up here,
Your belly really pushes that pike out front. You can tell he's.
those are my pecs.
Those are your nipples.
No, you're not.
My gut is sticking out there.
Yeah.
Hell with that.
A little bit.
Man, I'm telling you, I gained. Well, I knew I gained weight all winter, but I'm telling you, I bet you I gained 12 pounds since I've been sitting home for 2 months.
Yeah.
I lost like 5 in the last week, but it was getting critical. It was getting critical. I was gonna have to get new pants. You know, Brent's gonna be like, what, another size?
Just for all you guys out there that are watching, we do have Ron's buddy Roof is going to join us as well tonight, and maybe Nick from Turkey Camp. We were going to have my buddy Adam on, but he got busy with his kids. And we were actually not even going to do one this week, but me and Ron talked and Doug talked a couple days ago and decided that we were just like bored. We wanted to do something still. We needed to sit and drink with some people.
I know. It's like you see that one thing where the guy's like, well, would you rather be home with your wife and kids while you're homeschooling, not working from home, or A, or B?
Right, exactly. Yep.
This is B.
Yes, this is definitely B.
Yeah, we're all bored. We don't have one intelligent question yet. So we must have all of our friends on right now.
Ooh, there's a good one. I did last year. Not actually in the Pembina Gorge, but just west of there in the Turtle Mountains. We were up there for a day in December, and we shot some sharptails on the way up, and then we actually ended up flushing like half a dozen roughs up there. And I lost a dog. I did that too. That was pretty fun.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Oh, you give it. I told before, didn't we? That was that joke before we started the show. I'm gonna grow a thing like Wilford Brimley.
Yeah.
Tyler wanted to know if I was gonna do diabetes commercials.
I still think you should, man. I think like that or adult diapers. I think that's right in your wheelhouse. Howdy.
Hey, Mom, I got to go. I'm online now. Okay, Mom.
Better not have girls in your room.
I'm out in the remote office.
Yeah, there's that Dean Martin picture again. I can see it.
I love that Dean Martin picture.
There's an actual box of Backridge back there now, not just the shells.
Yeah, very good. No, I actually found a full box, so that means I boosted like 3 boxes.
So Adam gives me a bunch to bring out last year to South Dakota, and I figured, what does that mean? I'll have a bunch to take home, and they're all missing. No,
Oh no,
I
I was selling them off my truck gate.
Yeah,
I gotta. As long as we're at it, I'm gonna share some. Rusty and I have been on the phone about 3 times a day for the last 3 days. And that's the last picture. I got to find that picture of you, Ruth. I got to find that picture of you when you look like you're about 12. Look at this picture of Rusty. He looks. Look at that. It's like he doesn't even have a whisker yet, and he was already engaged to be married.
I might have been 22 there.
So tell Nick Larson he might be able to get a mustache someday because Roof can.
Yeah, well.
And then, so I'm showing Roof all these pictures, and I'm taking them, going through, and he's like, try to find one of me and my wife when they were camping, and I couldn't find one. And I found some of him playing baseball. I found a picture of my mom, my dad, and then I finally found this picture. See that attractive woman?
Yep. Is that Lori Morgan, the country singer from the 80s?
That was my date.
Oh,
for
Lori Morgan, good call.
That's kind of who she
some
looks
Lori
like.
Morgan CDs.
Yeah.
Is that
I got
Blair?
a Lori Morgan poster. I took down the Farrah Fawcett when I put up Lori Morgan.
There you go.
That's Elaine Christensen. Elaine, if you're watching by any chance,
Ron, don't use names. Don't use names.
Don't use names for
oh yeah,
That was a
That's
fake
Betty-
name. That was a fake
that's-
name.
Betty
She probably
Grable.
did give him a fake name, actually.
Oh, I had such a crush on her. I did.
You
She
think?
went to Ted's wedding with me. Man,
Ted.
friend of mine
I
at
don't know
work.
Ted.
No, you don't know Ted Moeller.
Was his
don't-
name Theodore?
I think so.
Yeah.
hmm Hey, is that Theodore with a TH?
Is that Theodore with a beaver?
Roof, I got the last call going here.
Oh, there you go. Good.
I already thanked Blair for him, but it's I got to take it slow because it's a strong one.
Yeah.
Gonna get
You
a
know.
little looped, will you?
Good.
No. Guy's on fire tonight.
What do you?
Guy's
Okay,
on
Ron. So
fire
tell
tonight.
me, Ronnie, what's going on? Have you heard from Taffy?
I haven't heard from her personally.
Yeah, Taffy doesn't call. I don't think that she doesn't like no thumbs. She can't hold a phone.
Yeah,
It's that whole young generation. They don't call.
They don't
She
care.
texts.
Yeah,
they don't
Does
call.
she
They
text though?
wow.
use their nose.
Like, I think the lion on Wizard of Oz used to text. Oh,
Courage. Finally, courage.
All right.
Oh,
We sure can get hour 2 started early with
Oh,
a social.
it already
It's
started.
Memorial Day. And cheers, guys.
Mhm.
Salud.
Hold on. Let me get there.
What do you got going there, Roof?
Well, I made a Binny's run today. I got the lovely Mrs. Wolf wine to make sure there wasn't she heard there might be a hard frost coming, so I wanted to make sure we stayed north of 50 bottles of wine in the house. So I got some and I got my O'Doul's. That's with a D. You got your amber.
Is that a O'Doul's hyphen OD?
Not a hyphen. No, that's not a
No
hyphen.
So it's not
Well,
like
that's not a hyphen.
So I think to start hour 2 though in like 47 minutes or 46 minutes, I'm going to challenge Ron to a chug off. I got one beer, and I'm going to beat his ass.
Well,
That's
my
no-
money's on Tyler.
hmm
My money's on Tyler, but I'm going to equate it to
For one,
you're the
yeah, I can't-
jackrabbit.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't
Ronnie's
give
the
you-
tortoise. He'll come in about 24 in about 4 or 5 hours. So.
they go like, I won.
yeah.
Hey, you bet Roof and I, we used to hang out in Eric Sundin's basement. And one time we decided like intelligent young 17, 18-year-olds that we're going to have a drinking contest. And the beauty of staying there was Eric's mom would make us pizzas, keep us fed, and she didn't let us go anywhere. So we had to stay there. But like everybody knew, we're just going to fall asleep. And I won that night.
Did you?
Wow.
Yeah. Roof came in second, I believe.
Yeah, but it was like when Secretariat won that one race. She finished by like 37 lengths at the Belmont. I was about a 6-pack behind Ron.
Hey, second place is second place.
First
There's
loser.
no winners in those kind of big competitions.
For what did you say? First loser?
The first loser.
I'm having a hard time keeping this going, and I'm trying not to hotbox it.
I'm telling you, they had their thighs were way too strong when they rolled that one, man. It's too tight.
I think it's too tight.
My goofy dog sitting out here at the garage door. He's staring out. There is a pintail hen and Drake in my grass nesting, and Rusty's just staring at him on point.
Are they actually nesting out there?
They're nesting in the prairie grass over here behind me. Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Hey, do you ever call your dog? Do you
I
ever
don't
call your
him
dog?
Ruth. I
You
don't
ever
call him Ruth.
You ever call him FE203?
I do not. No.
Did we already talk about that? Yeah, we did, right?
I don't think so.
I think so. Oh,
Come on,
wait,
somebody in chat got to know what that means. FE203.
FE2.
Ron will send out a new T-shirt if first one that knows that. No. Pike Gear will send out a vest, pants, and a hat.
Hey, look at Brent's gone now. Where did he go? He's not in the chat anymore.
Yeah.
Stuart,
Pike Gear's got a special. Buy 3, get 2.
Did you guys hear how that promotion went with RGS?
The first promotion, I think it raised like.
I know the first promotion went really well.
The other one's
How
still
about this?
ongoing, I believe.
It
Stopped on the 21st.
Yeah.
I was supposed to do an Instagram post for him with this shirt on it. I guess I screwed that up.
Well,
We'll
you
just
didn't
blame
say when
Bill.
you were going to do it.
You should have reminded you.
We should have let it run further. You guys ever hear about the Huron hunt? No. And somebody asked about Oklahoma. I worked in Oklahoma, and I heard bobwhite quail behind the building I was working in, but I'd never hunted Oklahoma. I've not bought a.
Maybe they're talking about the play.
I didn't think of
Right away, you're assuming.
right. Yeah, there you go. I'm assuming
You're assuming.
it's
What do you think? This is the hunter's happy hour? It might be the thespian happy hour. That's with a T, not an L.
Is it bad if they hang out and play together? 10-month-old. What problem comes when to hunt? Well,
Wait a minute.
yeah,
Do
that's
you guys notice that something called Rough Country Outdoors understood what Roof was talking about? That's pretty close.
Russ.
Just saying. Is that you? Did you answer your own question?
No. What did he say? Rust?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rust.
Right. 2 parts iron, 3 parts oxygen is oxidated iron rust. Awesome.
Damn.
I gotcha. Yeah. And Rough
See?
Country answered Roof's question.
Uh-oh. Tyler's breaking
Awesome.
up.
There you go.
He is a little bit.
Hey, Mitten Yeti. That's an odd.
You're breaking up.
Who, me?
Am I?
You are, I think.
You look
Anyways.
like a witness on cops.
Yeah, you're starting to get fuzzy. Could be that big storm you had go through.
The 10-month-old.
I am?
Yes.
Hey.
Mhm.
Now he's froze.
Who's froze?
Tyler. Oh, he's back.
Tyler's froze. Anyway, to answer Mitten's question, nothing wrong with having 2 dogs, and it's fine to let them play and hang out together, but don't train them together. Don't hunt them together the first year. Don't do that. Let them develop their own style, their own range, their own. Plus you're gonna end up liking one of them more than the other.
Wait, before Tyler comes back, let's just all freeze. So nobody move when Tyler comes back on, and we'll see what he does. Let's see.
Yeah. If Tyler comes back on, everybody just.
All right, let's see.
Lori says, "Are you going to help with my lady's grouse hunt?" Lori, I don't know if we should talk about that on the air, but yeah, I'm going to help with the ladies' hunt. Of course.
Is it at how the song goes? Who's grouse hunting with your old lady when you're out grouse hunting?
There's got to be a country song about that. Stash on Fleet. Andrea Chilcote. Oh my God, that's one of my kids' friends. Hey, Andrea, how did you get on? You don't hunt.
I bet you she signed on with Facebook, Ron.
That would be a good. Oh, I'm streaming to your Facebook, just so you know.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Well, that makes sense then.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, and that's Jesse's girlfriend from high school. I thought she lived in Arizona or something. But I guess that would have nothing to do with streaming on Facebook.
I was like, I don't think distance
No.
matters with social media, but nice try.
So, do you think I should get this to go down like a biker, like anarchy, or just stop it right here and just let it get Wilford Brimley full?
I'd like to see you grow it out and then curl it up on the ends.
Oh no.
I think you should.
That's not a look for me. Mm-mm.
I think you should grow your hair a little longer and look like Tom Selleck.
Hey, Lori, you have another one of them Jack and Cokes in here. We're gonna have to mute your comments.
No, I live in Michigan.
No, she goes, can you talk German to me?
Oh, was ist los? Ich bin
Ach,
krank.
Ach, der Lieberstein.
Ich bin krank.
Ja,
That's. Let me see if I got that. Say it again a little slower.
wenn am besten schmeckten meine Tenuf.
I think it translates to like push away from the table when the food tastes the best, something like that.
Yeah. Stop eating when it tastes
Yeah.
best.
See, my German is not bad.
Wenn am besten, when it's best. Schmeckt, taste. When it tastes best, quit. Yeah. I've never learned that with beer, though.
Is that any
I
better?
remember my dad.
That was good. Hey, I'm excited. You guys paid attention to pre-production meeting on that when Tyler was away. That was good.
Oh, you guys are assholes.
You look generally concerned for just a moment.
I was like,
Just so you know, Tyler,
okay.
we weren't born that way. We worked at it our whole life.
Oh, wait.
You know-
Hey, Doug, pull up Mike Herter's question. First of all, who? Anyway, if
We won't be mean.
if he's got full reign of what puppy he wants to pick, I honest to God, sometimes other than you don't want the one that's shaking, like somebody in church writing a check or anything like that, and you don't want the one that just bit you in the face, but you could go like this and reach in, and there's your puppy.
for sure.
If it's a good bred dog, you'll be all right. Go for whatever makes you feel good. But I've two of the best dogs I ever got. I never picked. They were just they said it's the one we got left, and there it is. Came out good.
I think that's actually right. Yeah. I have no idea if you guys can hear me or not, but we did have a pretty sizable thunderstorm roll through here just a little bit ago, so it could be that. But I have full signal, so it's really kind of bugging me.
Yeah, we can hear you fine. You just your face blurs out every once in a while, so no big deal.
That's fine. Nobody cares about my face anyways. That's why I do a podcast, not a TV show.
That is a true story.
Ooh.
Let's see. What other questions do we have in here that I missed? Both of you.
Well, there was a young man, 13-year-old, says he's got a lot of nice hunting stories. He would love to talk to you guys about it. But the good thing about that is that he's 13 and he's already got hunting stories. So that's awesome. Kind of what we were talking about a few weeks ago, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ours would have to be the we call the milk and cookies hour.
Yeah.
We'll bring him.
Does the roof I said have a dog?
I used to have a German short-haired pointer, so I've been dogless. I'm waiting for Ron to have a litter where he can't sell some of his pups, and one might just show up. So we'll see.
You
Or
don't
I'll
want any of
kidnap-
Ron's pups.
or I'll kidnap Zara, Miller, or Bravo, or all three of them.
Mm-hmm. You're a trained behavior.
You see my shirt I got on?
I do.
Retro
I do.
Pheasants Forever shirt.
I like that.
This
I
was
like
their
it.
original original patch.
It looks like if Pheasants Forever had like an oil change shop.
Right, exactly. Right.
And he's wearing the wrong guy's shirt. It's like he's wearing Dennis's shirt, even though his name's Rusty.
Yeah, you should have another name badge on the other side and keep changing it every time.
Yeah.
We should just say
Bill.
Ron. Like,
Hey, Adam,
Fred.
I would train a behavior every day. Just make sure you don't get the dog trained to a point of boredom. Always kind of quit. Don't treat dog training like alcohol. Don't just keep saying, "Man, that was so good. I think I'll do it again." Pretend like you only had enough time for a couple beers when you're training. Don't overdo it.
Well, depending on the age of the
Oh
dog.
yeah, there's a whole
but
lot,
certainly
lot
with
of
puppy.
variables there. I heard that one trainer.
I got
Go ahead.
two 10-week-old puppies here. The behavior that I'm training apparently is not working because I cannot get them to quit pissing in their kennels. So, what can you do?
Take him to the vet.
Yeah. I had a couple of really good days, and then I went fishing yesterday, and apparently they just don't like it when I go fishing. So every time they peed in their kennel again last night.
Damn. I haven't peed in my.
Can you guys hear that thunder?
Mm.
It's
Thunder
sunny
rolls.
outside, and there's still thunder going on.
Yeah, you're still kind of. What took
God's
you?
bowling.
God's bowling. It's a little grouse season.
So I heard you
Open it-
talk about the puppies didn't like you going fishing. So last Friday night, I was telling Ronnie this the other day.
Yeah.
My wife and I we were sitting out. We had a Zoom meeting with her family across the country, and afterwards it ended about 9:30 at night. So at 10 o'clock, one of our neighbors came over and we were talking to her for a while. She has a lab. She was walking the lab, and then we were waiting for her to come back by my house, and all of a sudden we hear some guy yelling, "Roxy, Roxy, Roxy," and a dog ran by my house. I'm telling you, the dog was going 80 miles an hour, and behind it was her owner or her owner's son going about 70 miles an hour. So the dog's gaining on him, and he's yelling, "I got a treat! I got a treat! I got a treat!" So the dog took off.
That always works.
They were gone. They were gone for like a half hour. What it was a high school graduation party, and we got some backstory. It sounds like one of the kids accidentally let the dogs out, and they were all panicking. The dog was gone, and so fast forward 30 minutes later, they come back. They got the dog, and it's a Weimaraner. And I asked the kid. I said, "All right." So I started talking about the dog, and I said, "You guys put this dog on birds? You take it hunting or whatever?" He says, "No, we don't take her hunting, but we take her fishing all the time." So I just thought that was funny that they took her fishing.
The funny thing is that
I don't know if it's like a big bear in the stream, like getting salmon, or if it's just sitting on a dock.
The funny thing is that the dog that Bruce has, our buddy Bruce, that's still here with me, is named Roxy. And I end up having to chase that little shit down into the slough pretty much every single day. She's down in the slough looking for ducks. And I'm walking across the yard yelling, "Roxy, Roxy." It could have been me. I was actually thinking, was I on the phone with Ron when you were talking to him or something? It very well could have been me.
Were you yelling, I got a treat?
Sometimes, yeah. It's like the other day, she went underneath the deck, and I had decided that I was just going to wait her out, and the war of attrition ended with me on my hands and knees asking her pretty please to come out from underneath the deck, and that didn't work either. And then eventually, I sent her sister in after her, and then they started playing, and then they stayed underneath the deck, both of them. Then I sent their mom in there. And then they all started playing underneath the deck, and they still wouldn't come out. So I sent pretty quick. I had all 5 dogs underneath the freaking deck, and I couldn't get any of them to come back out except for Rusty, who's laying here because he's a good boy. I'm seriously about ready to get rid of all the rest of the dogs in the house. If I look tired, it's because I am. It's been a very long couple of weeks.
It's tough. It's
Yeah,
tough.
Roof. Why didn't you get one of my puppies? I got one really good puppy right now. I'll give her to you. At least until she's done getting potty trained.
Hey, Ron, somebody wants you to explain the holes that Bravo's digging.
Well, I saw that question, and I'm trying to go back. I want to show somebody before the backyard looked like a minefield. I'm gonna dig this picture up while we're talking. It's ridiculous with the Michigan water table up so high now. All of those look like foxholes that are back there. They all got a foot of water in them right now. It's
Did your wire hairs dig too, or is it just your Broncos?
It's just Bravo and his son. Zara does not dig. Digging is like a genetic thing. Like it'll run. Like some dogs just won't dig. Other dogs, they're gonna dig. I mean, they're gonna dig and never. Ooh, there's a good picture. This is the one that. Does that come through, or is it all glary?
Well, just tip it a little. It's hard to
It
tell.
looks like a
what that
dead
even
body.
is.
What are you showing us?
That's me when I was 20-some years old. Fell asleep with that big mustache
Oh, it is a dead body.
Yeah,
and a cigar in my hand.
that was New Year's Eve.
That's right.
That was New Year's Eve, 83 to 84, 84 to 85. No, 83 to 84. No, 80. I don't know.
It was in the
80
80s.
something.
I'll find this picture though.
Yeah, I was born in 83. That was a good year.
That was a good year. All right, I'm gonna find this.
Yeah.
I hope. How come? I wonder if I turn the lights off, will that glare get off of there? Maybe.
Just text it to Doug and he can put it up on the screen.
Oh, what an excellent idea! Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah, you're welcome, bud. That's why I'm
Man,
here.
Tyler, you're brilliant. Does that come natural or what, man?
I work at it pretty hard, actually. It's
You got to work at it every day, probably.
every day. Yeah.
You guys hold the fort down here. I'm gonna find.
I
this
saw
picture.
Jesse. Hi, Jesse.
Jesse's on my daughter. Hey, Jess.
Mhm.
How's Case, Dad? Case is doing fine. He's on lockdown right now because Miller's out. Miller, hey.
Yeah, Jesse wants you to remind you how the one dog felled the tree.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find. That picture.
Oh,
It's in here. It's just a couple years back in pictures. I don't know. Why do we keep so many pictures in our phones? My God. Oh, here it is.
She says, Jesse says, hi, Uncle Rusty.
Hi, sweetheart. How are you? So happy for the news back home.
All right. I am going to send this to Doug. And Doug can put it up. You can do it in a text, right, Doug?
Yeah, I'll just email it to myself.
Oh, you want me to email it then?
It doesn't matter. Or send it through Messenger. It's fine too.
Hang on. Let me back up. See, now you got me all rattled. All right.
Too many options.
Yeah, see, you should have just left it at
Come
one.
on, Ron. A caveman could do this.
But a caveman wouldn't have that
Ron's
good
going
of
to
a
have
mustache.
Geico sponsor him.
Oh, God dang it.
He sounds like the customer service rep over at AT&T.
Wait, Doug, what's your email?
Yeah.
It's not Doug, or is it D?
He's like, don't go there.
Dog had soggy dog gear.
Why am I not finding Doug's email address in here? Come on.
Why don't you just send it through Messenger then?
Oh, good
Joe
God.
wants to know if you missed anything. Joe, you missed everything, but we'll circle back.
Yeah. I'll give Joe a quick rundown. Basically, my internet sucks. And there's a thunderstorm, and we talked about Ron's mustache for about 7 to 8 minutes. And then we talked about Island Girls' thighs being too strong to roll cigars. Caught up right there.
Yeah, this cigar was from Miami, and it was rolled on the thighs of an island woman. That's what it said on the package. Mhm.
Yeah, well,
Now it's smoking pretty good.
I didn't know they called machines women down in there, but I guess they did do in Honduras.
Well, they're very fond of their machines.
He did rock.
Machine.
All right, I got it now.
Fine machines.
It's coming. DOU. There it is. Doug Perinkio.
Oh my gosh.
Right now.
Backspace. Doot.
Oh yeah, and my puppy's peeing everywhere. Not everywhere, just in the kennel, the house, outside, in
Oof.
the mudroom, occasionally in the water dish. Not everywhere.
When Ron used to take typing in high school, he'd have the paper in and his margins all set, and they'd say, "Bing, okay, next one." It's like, see, the trick to do that though, in my high school, you did 3 timings and you had to turn in your best one, right? So what we started doing in the back, you would just just stay on the first one. They'd say, "Okay, go to page 22," and it'd just stay right here. Quick brown fox jumped over lazy dog, whatever, and then you just turned in the one that you spent 3 minutes on. But when they saw me typing 220 words a minute, they smelled a rat. So I had to back it down to 80. That you make a couple trips to the post office for the teacher, you're golden.
You remember how Frank got through high school? He fixed appliances for every teacher that he had.
Yeah.
Did he really? That's awesome.
Yep.
He fixed toasters, televisions, radios. I mean,
Marriages.
How'd you send it, Ron?
I sent it to your email.
Okay.
Did you get it?
I'll check.
Still checking.
Still checking.
Checking.
Hold.
Checking.
Hold.
It's coming up. It's coming up.
Keep holding.
Stuart, I hated typing. I never learned. Do you know that my dad was born in 1919 and he could type like a son of a gun. He went to a technical school in Chicago and learned typing. Like they never taught the boys typing in the public schools, the Chicago regular
It
ones.
might have been like Robert Morris or something, Ron. That school's been around a long time, I think.
It was it was Tilden Tech. No, wasn't Tilden Tech.
All right. Oh, Lane Tech?
On the east side. No,
Lane Tech,
no.
maybe, no?
South and east side. You can almost see it from
Gordon
the Dan
Tech?
Ryan. Maybe. Something Tech.
Oh,
yeah.
if you could see it by the Skyway?
Yeah.
That was CVS, Chicago Vocational School. That's exactly what they did there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dick Buckus went to that school.
Yeah, but what did he ever do?
Right.
He didn't type.
No.
He couldn't type. You can't type with island-sized paws.
Could you imagine?
I know.
Having,
I'm aware.
yeah, but you got big hands, but you don't have like nobody thinks like you got a baseball mitt. You know what I mean? You got big hands, but
They're pretty
they're
big.
pretty big. But your fingers aren't
Look.
disproportionate.
They're way bigger than my head. No, I don't have.
So's mine right now.
I have
Did you get the picture, Doug?
I did not.
here, and I'm gonna.
Really?
Nope.
Why can't I just? All right, I'm gonna try.
Ron, read letter by letter how you sent it.
See there.
Just so you know, Ron, it can't be like a drift pin. It can't be close. It's got to be exact.
Send it through Facebook Messenger.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
How on earth everybody's paid attention to us for 9 episodes is freaking beyond me. It blows my mind every week.
I do want to point this out too. Is if somebody won something last week for the turkey calls, I completely dropped the ball on that and sent email out to get that stuff taken care of. So plan on seeing it sometime end of next week. And that is
Wow.
bad.
Wow.
What are we gonna do with this guy, Roof? What are we gonna do with this guy?
I say everyone should get something.
Bruce Bynum.
Pike Gear is gonna send everyone something.
All 500 of you.
Vests, all brand new vests. That's what everybody's getting.
That's right.
Roof's like Oprah.
Yeah.
All right, I tried. I tried so hard. Why can't
Roof's
I?
like Oprah.
Ron,
Best line
just
of the
read
night right
exactly
there.
how you sent it.
I can't. There's nothing to read. It's nothing to read. I'm just trying to I'm driving the struggle bus here. God.
Isn't Ron Jeremy the porn star?
Yeah.
See, there was a guy earlier who thought that we'd already went through sex talk with Ron. We haven't. So no.
Oh, well, that
Well,
explains it.
he showed.
I got messenger and messages messed up. Doug. There we go. Now, see, now we're getting close.
Now we're cooking with fire.
I'm back on. I'm back on the bus. Yeah, I can't.
It is the short bus, but he's back on it.
It's a very short bus. Yep.
The wheelbase ain't very long. Hey,
a lot of window liquor.
Mackenzie. Hi, Lawson. Mwah. How about if I send it to Rusty and he sends it to Doug?
Oh my God.
I got it.
Well, like if you're gonna send it to Rusty, then Rusty's got to send it to me. I got to forward it to Doug.
God. Hi, Papa. See, I tried to use Rusty's name for Grandpa. He had Big Poppy, and I liked Big Poppy. And so far, Lawson.
But it's whatever the kids, right? It's whatever the kids start saying.
Right. He just
It's probably Big Poppy that rolled that cigar you're smoking. It's probably David Ortiz's thighs that rolled that thing. That's why it's
Bappa.
Right. Bappa.
Hi, Mackenzie, sweetheart. Nice seeing you.
Lots of controversy on last week's.
What was the controversy?
What did you guys do?
I didn't see that. What was that one?
I don't know. I just see it over there.
Lots of controversy on last week's contest. Brock guy. Is that somebody who won and didn't get something?
He's going to have to explain. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Are there any international fans viewing this? I don't know.
I doubt it. I'm surprised there's domestic fans viewing this.
I'd be thinking, unless they're over in China, anything on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, they're probably sleeping right now. Right?
That's a really big ocean. That's a big ocean.
Or it's like
wild ocean. Big.
Hawaii.
Big wild.
It's a big wild ocean.
It's big. Lot, big boats go over that big ocean. No, really big boats.
I have hunted the Fort Berthold. Yes, I have. In fact, it's not very far from me.
There it is.
Your bloody picture.
So there is.
That's pretty awesome.
That is a black oak. Actually, no, it was a white. No, it was a black oak. Bravo started digging under that tree when I first built this kennel. Then I realized I needed to have a fence around the whole thing, so if people came to let the dogs out, they wouldn't lose them. So I fenced about an acre in, and he started digging right away. And I kept looking at that tree, and I'm gonna have to get the skidster out and do some backfilling or throw some concrete blocks around it. And I'll never forget, like a day before this, I went out to go check on it, and he had it completely. He could go under the root base and back up the other side. And then I'm out in the backyard with Sue. I had like 5 dogs here then. I'm in the backyard with Sue, and I hear like, what the? And I go limp running all the way across the yard over the kennel, and I see this tree. It's about a 50-foot tree, and the top of the branches are just missed the corner roof of the kennel. And there's 4 dogs. There's 4 dogs huddled up by the door of the kennel, looking like somebody spanked them. And I look at all of them, and I don't see Bravo. And I start looking under the branches, and I'm yelling, "Bravo, Bravo!" And I'm panicked. I'm sure my dog has been, crushed by his own tree excavation. And if you see that hole, that dark hole to the right of the tree stump, when I got over there, I kept yelling his name, and he popped up. He's like, "What? What?
What happened?"
He was still digging, and the tree went over backwards. He didn't give a shit. He was just yeah. That dog I love him to death, but there's something wrong with him. Yeah, I
Hey,
don't
Ron,
know anybody's dog's ever done that.
I texted you earlier this week about I finally found that episode of you and Ranella on Meat Eater hunting blue grouse in Montana. And you remember that? That was like season 2, I think. Like it was early on. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think that you have personally farted on camera more than anybody else ever on TV. That was the best thing I've ever seen. I was sitting there just laughing my absolute ass off. Like you're just kind of walking up a trail, just. I was like, oh my God. I can't believe they put it in the show, first of all. But second of all, how?
All right.
He's got.
You know what? When BHA wanted me to come to a Filson campfire story, and I was trying to think of a funny story to tell everybody, and I was working on that one. I was like, I don't know if I could tell it funny, but I had really bad gas that morning. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, really like constant to the point where you didn't even worry about the gas. It was like, yeah.
You had the walking fart.
So I got a cameraman behind me, and he's, and he's got a headset on that's hooked up to my lapel mic.
Right.
I don't have any clue. This is my first, second time wearing a mic, but I thought this picks up your voice, only your voice.
No.
It picks up everything. So this guy doesn't know me. He's walking behind me up a mountain. He's running up in front of me because they're getting all these angle shots.
He's running up in front of you because he's tired of getting gassed out behind you. Is why he's running up in front of you.
He needed to be upwind.
You might have a point there. And about every 20 minutes, he goes, hey, Ron, he said, you need to stop? No. And like the third time he asked me that, we are kind of stopped. And I said, look, I'm old and I walk funny and I'm tired already. But if I stop every 20 minutes, we're never going to get up to, 9,000 feet. And I said, why do you keep asking me that? And he goes, well, you've been farting in my headphones for the last hour. He says, I just figured you had to take a dump.
Well, the best part was when you were cleaning the grouse later, and you're like, oh my God, the guts in this thing stink. And
Yeah.
he's like, well, what do you mean? They stink worse than somebody else's guts? And then you fart right there, like really loud. You're like, yeah, some people's guts smell worse than other people's. I was like, oh my God.
That's what his show is produced out of New York then. And one of the editors actually got my number from Steve, called me, and he says, Ron, this is so-and-so from VPZ Productions. He says, are you going to be okay if we use the farting in the episode? I'm like,
Yeah.
go for it. I didn't realize. I'm like, oh, there must have been a fart somewhere.
No, it was
No.
the whole thing.
That was the whole And when I shot that double, I was holding the grouse. I was holding the blue grouse, and then
Oh, I got excited.
no, it did not affect scenting conditions, Kevin. Not at all. No.
Did you get any points on those birds at all? I haven't got to hunt blues yet.
On the third day, they started pointing a few birds, but the birds were just not. Well, the funny thing is about doing a show is, Steve never cares about getting the dogs work.
Right.
Like if we're doing a show, we want the whole dogs work. He's just telling a story. So there's one scene in there where they're pointing and the bird busted out. And I think Steve says well, they smelled that bird, but what he meant was they pointed it. But no, the first few times they were just kind of wandering around, and all of a sudden birds would get up. It was weird because we thought we were going to just knock them dead.
You guys looked like you had a pretty good hunt. I mean, you guys were only up there for 2 days, right?
Yeah. There's actually that's a lie. There was 3 days of footage, but the middle day we went to another area, and it was real light on bird contacts. Not light on walking.
Where are you guys parked? You said you went to 9,000 feet. What elevation were you guys parking at? Because it did look like quite a hike.
It was. I think we hiked about 2,000 feet a day. We were already up at 6,000 and 7,000 feet.
Oh, 2,000 feet one way.
Yeah, 2,000 feet vertical. Yeah. Took about 3 hours to hike up, about 2 hours to hunt, and 3 hours to hike down. I don't recommend it for anybody. People like that, but I don't.
It's amazing how big those birds are, though. I got to see one that Brent and Craig shot a couple years ago when they were over there, and they're huge.
It's a
Like,
hefty. It's a hefty grouse. It's not a sage grouse, but it's
close.
It's
Like,
heavier than a rooster pheasant.
Sure.
Yeah, I would say a rooster is probably 2 pounds. Let's just say,
Yeah,
maybe
2.5. Yeah,
and I bet you this is a 3-pound bird, probably, which is a lot when you think about a pound over a pound.
Sure. Did you? Well, you guys shot the one rough grouse. Steve was going to shoot it on a log, and like you apparently talked him out of it or something because he's like, "Yeah, I'm not above a ground sleuth every once in a while." But Ron, I was like, I've seen. I wouldn't say Ron's necessarily a purist when it comes to that, but
I'm purer than I used to be.
Yeah, sure. But did you guys get any other rough grouse there at all?
No, that was it. It was right when we started to hike. The rough grouse. I got to quit looking at Rusty's glasses. I can't concentrate.
They're my cockeyes. My pheasants forever cockeyes. You guys are talking about roosters. Is it too distracting?
No.
Apparently for Ron,
yeah, I forgot the question.
Right, sorry.
I know. We'd only hit rough grouse would be right when you started on a trailhead.
In the creek bottom.
Yeah. So it'd be kind of wet and brushy. And that's what's weird. I didn't realize rough grouse were all the way to Alaska. In certain pieces all the way across North America. There's a mosquito.
Yeah, I just had one too. I was swatting it like this, but
I like to kill them. I don't like to just swat them.
Right.
But yeah, rough grouse were just in that creek bottom. And then we went, that's what happened Wednesday. We went, or it was a Wednesday, the middle day. He went to a spot that he had elk hunted and they got into a bunch of rough grouse one time. So he said, let's go look for the rough grouse. And it was just a day of walking and we didn't, I think we got one blue grouse that day and it wasn't on camera. I did not get a turkey yet. I'm going to wait here for another couple days, maybe Monday, like just a relaxed day. They're right behind the house every morning. And I went out there with a cigar and a coffee. So, I don't know if this would distract the turkey or not.
Hand movements.
You tell me.
Is what you need to glue a turkey fan on the back of each one of your hands. So when you go up like this to drink, they're going to come in and they'll think there are turkeys over there fighting.
They're going to come in and have sex with me. I don't want that.
The problem is the governor of Michigan's got the turkey staying 6 feet apart, so they never.
Yeah, they're not allowed to conjugate, or
they're not allowed to come out of the roost. They can't come out of the roost one at a time, half-hour increments.
They got it all wrong. When they read the news, they thought it said we can't consummate.
What does mathematics have to do with it? I didn't get that.
Oh, what a shit show!
Did we lose Ron?
No. He disappeared.
I had to go get my light, my everyday. There, look at that. Just like my French vanilla. You're the one who got me on these things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Long time ago, we went hunting.
Oh, you brought a whole box of them.
Right.
You guys smoked them in the first day?
Sometimes.
Of course, I'm smoking an Alec Bradley.
What is that, $1 or $2 cigar, Roof?
Prosado. This is about, in Illinois with taxes, about a $10 cigar. A lot of taxes in Illinois, though.
That's my other.
What the hell?
Well, I quit smoking cigarettes at least.
Yeah.
I haven't cut back on nicotine.
On anything else, yeah.
But I'm not in here. I do. You know what? Here's the deal. This is crazy. And my heart rate's up right now. But typically, my heart rate is running about 10 beats per minute less since I quit smoking 2 months ago.
Mm.
So I guess there is something to health.
Well, I like what Patrick's saying about South Dakota. Yeah, as far as best bird country and nicest governor.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's South Dakota. South Dakota, yeah.
Right. I was going to vote for North Dakota, but I don't think North Dakota's governor is as hot as South Dakota's governor.
Well, I mean, he's not cute, but
that's good. That's improv. That's what makes it funny.
He's good looking at all.
His name is Doug, actually. Yeah.
And you guys run into apex predators while you're out bird hunting?
I've never done a bird hunting. I like to, surprisingly enough, judging by my physical appearance, I really like kayaking a lot, and I really like rafting in general. And a few years ago, we rented a raft from, can't remember the name of the company, in Glacier. And you can rent rafts without a guide. You can kind of do a self-guided thing. And we went from the Canadian border, Canada border. Which one is it, Ron? Because you're going to bitch at me. Is it the Canadian border?
It would be the Canadian border.
Okay.
It just wouldn't be a Canadian goose.
Okay. Fair enough.
Well, it could be a Canadian Canada goose.
Yes. Came from Canada. So, yeah, whatever. But we went from the Canadian border to the south border of Glacier over the course of like 6 days. And we woke up one morning, never heard a thing. We were very careful with all of our food and everything else. But we had grizzly tracks went right through the middle of our camp, like 3 feet from our tent. But we never seen it. I know Ron's got some good stories about black bears up in Alaska.
Oh, grizzlies in Alaska and black bears. In fact, I don't know if Matt Zoll is still on watching or not, but he found this. He was deer hunting north of here about an hour, and he was deer hunting, and he kept seeing these wood ducks just piling into this oak woods. And he goes, Ronnie, he says, you gotta get Bravo. And he says, we gotta go, because there's this almost quicksand, swampy hole of water in this valley of oak trees, and the wood ducks were just lighting in there. So we went there and got some wood ducks, and he went and brought other people there and got wood ducks, and it was just that kind of spot, that one honey hole. So like a year later, Matt and he calls me up, and he works up that way, and he says, hey, any way you could meet me up at the wood duck spot? And I said, yeah, I'll grab Bravo. He's already got his gun in the truck, and it was just going to be, half-hour hunt, right? And we sit down. He's got a view one way, and I got a view another way. Long story short, Bravo, which doesn't have a mean bone in his body, starts growling, and I'm like, so I kind of grab his collar, like that. I'm like, what are you looking? And then Matt's looking around. I said, Matt, somebody up on that hill or something. He goes, no. He goes, oh, it's a couple of bear cubs. Or no, first he thought it was 2 porcupines. And I'm like, well, that's weird. And then he's like, no. It was kind of like you thought you were at a zoo. He goes, oh, it's a couple of bear cubs. And then, well, bear cubs don't go anywhere without their mama.
They don't got bear cubs don't get latchkeys like you do in the city.
No, they don't just let them go. And
right.
So all of a sudden, now the way I'm facing, I really can't see, but Matt's like perpendicular to me. So we could have like 2 angles at this pond. And he goes, oh, there's the mom. And I'm like, where? He goes, right there. And I'm like, I can't see it. And he goes, what do we do? And dumbass me says, Well, just shoot over her head so she'll run away. Wrong. Don't shoot over a bear's head hoping they'll run away, because she immediately scooted the 2 cubs up a tree at the pond edge. Then I could see the 2 cubs up the tree, and Mom sat there going, oomph, oomph,
Yeah, barking
and
at you.
snapping her, snapping her teeth like a couple of like wooden blocks. And I'm like, holy wow. And then Matt goes, now what do we do? I'm like, oh, well, my first idea sucked. How about you come up with an idea? So
Right.
I had Matt grab my Jaeger lead, hook Bravo up as I was holding him like that. And we backed our way. We just literally backed out of there all the way up this hill, just backed up.
I bet Matt wasn't scared one bit, because he's like, I know that I can outrun Ron for sure. It's a mortal lock. There's no chance that he's faster than I am.
I think
so I'm going to take Bravo, and I'm just going to end up with a new dog.
Right. I think deep down he wasn't as scared as me. Right.
Right. Yeah, like my best friend Mike, every time we're over in Montana or something like that, and he's like, oh, I'm not afraid of bears because I know I can outrun you. It's like, yeah, but I'm going to shoot you in the fucking leg, and then we'll see what happens. Because that it ain't going to be me getting eaten. Just saying.
That's the old adage. You don't have to run faster than the bear. You just don't have to be the slowest runner.
Yeah. Until you shoot somebody in the leg. That's a great equalizer, because then you get that scent of blood in the air. It gets them crazy.
I think you'd feel bad in a week or two after that, though, Tyler.
A week or two, maybe. I mean, not right away. And certainly not 4 weeks later. I mean, 4 weeks later, I wouldn't even think about it at all.
Right.
Yeah, but
remember the old corny joke from when you were 10 years old? If a bear was chasing you, would you run into a church or run into the forest?
I've never heard this one.
What would you rather do? Probably rather run into a church, right?
Yeah, run
into a church with a bear behind. See what I'm saying? It was a 10-year-old joke. Yeah, I was working it since I was 10. That wasn't early. Well, not when you're 10. Not when you're 10.
At some point, it goes from being a 10-year-old joke to a dad joke, and they're the same thing. So
yeah, that's true.
It could be a dad joke now.
That is true. They're now a grandpa joke.
I've also never I've never seen a mountain lion, but hunting in Southwest North Dakota, I was down there. Actually, not very far from where you and I hunted at when we had Utzinger up here, Ron. Just south of there, down there in that big canyon, that big creek bottom. Mm-hmm. And we were hunting down there in a snowstorm. It wasn't like, it was just kind of like one of those really pretty gentle snowfalls. It was like 25 degrees. It was really nice out, and the pheasants were holding great. And me and Mike walked in there, and when we got there, we ended up getting our birds, and we turned around and we walked back out on our same tracks. And when we walked back out, we had mountain lion tracks and some of our tracks coming in. That was pretty spooky.
I'd be scared to death of a mountain lion.
Yeah, I'm not really. Like, I just want to see one.
I've never. What is that? Oh, 904.
All right. This is a leftover. I'm not a Bud Light guy, but I'm challenging Ron to a chug off right now.
I just opened this beer. I had no more than a half a sip. I opened this beer.
I'm going to
take it next week. I got to take my hat off. It's getting serious.
I take winner next week.
Okay.
What's that?
I'm going to
take winner next week. I like it. All right. You count it off, Doug.
1, 2, go.
Wow.
He had you by 4 seconds.
Yeah, but how? Like, I couldn't pour it any faster than that. Did you put a hole in the bottom of it?
I just opened my throat.
Holy shit.
Okay, so I am not
now I gotta
happy
get
with that at all. Like, I need you to dump it out and prove that it's empty. I don't believe I lost.
It's empty.
It'd be a better question to prove that it was full.
There we go. Yeah.
I'm not
you
doing
that.
That
as man.
I'm not doing that more than once a night, because that's what gets you. Even on Miller Lite, that could get you messed up.
Lori's pretty excited that you won.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lori.
Round of
Wait
the
till we go
dice,
to the
and he
next
just
banquet.
sucks.
I think it was probably like half a beer. Let's be fair.
Mm-mm.
Well,
Oh, man,
Tyler,
I
even if he had an ounce gone and he was doing 11 ounces, he still beat you by seconds.
Yeah, unless it was half gone.
no, there was probably
Well,
a
then that's
there was
on
a there was a
that's on
polite-
him.
There it is, the
I'm
HHH beer chug challenge.
I'm going to start practicing. I'm coming back, old man. I have longevity on my side. You're going to be, long gone in like 6 years. So,
Well, look, and if it takes 10,000 hours to be a master at something, okay, you're
you're like a 38th degree master.
right. I'm a 38 degree beer. I'm a 38 degree beer belt.
Yes,
Ron-
yes. Beer belt. I like
Ron
that.
should be driving.
That's your
He
next
should be
t-shirt.
driving around the little motorcycles like the Masons do when they advance up. Drive around a little Miller light bike.
Ron did look like he was going to yak a little bit right afterwards.
Well, I tell you, it was just, I don't know if my throat was showing, but it was just going right down there. Anyway.
I couldn't drink any faster. It wouldn't come out of the can faster. I should have tried squeezing it. I just thought I totally underestimated you. I'm impressed. Good for you. Yeah,
Wow, my money was on Tyler on that too.
the mustache drank half of it. Dry fly.
It absorbed it.
Next time, Ron's got to do it with a pear and black.
No. Oh, no. No.
He's got a pear and black. I got a Guinness inside, and I got stuff. I got the makings of an Irish car bomb. I'm down with that.
You know what? When I was just talking to Roof about this a week ago, my two son-in-laws were here when my youngest daughter was getting married 2 years ago. And on the way back, they said, "Is there any little bars here in Twin Lake?" And I'm like, "Yeah, there's a dumpy bar and a dumpier bar." And so, well, let's stop and get a drink. Now we're only like, as the crow flies, a half a mile from the house. And
yeah, that one.
So
That's
I
a
never
comment of the night, right?
Ron, I don't know how to put this, but I'm
kind of a big deal. You have to do it in the Ron Burgundy voice, though. I'm kind of a big deal.
I have
I know many people. I have many leather-bound books.
That's cute.
I like it. But they wanted to stop and have a drink because they were all still cleaning up the rehearsal dinner. So we knew we were ahead of the moms and the wives and the bridesmaids and everything. And they wanted to do you guys know what a pickleback is? A pickleback thing?
Yeah. Like a tequila with a pickle chaser?
Well, it was this one happened to be Jameson. And it wasn't a 1 ounce shot. It was a jigger maybe, or a shot and a half. I don't know. It was a tall shot glass. But then you got this other glass of pickle juice.
Yeah.
And you flip the Jameson, and before you could make a face, you down the pickle juice.
Yeah.
And it was like shaking an Etch-a-Sketch board.
Yep.
It was all gone.
Yeah, you can do it with tequila too.
Like there was no aftertaste, no heartburn, no anything at all. I'm like, well, why do you guys do that? I don't get it. Well, we did it 4 times.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're like, this is fantastic.
And that's probably 4 times more alcohol that I've had in 20 years. Then didn't play good the next day for me.
Yeah, shit. I've known you for.
Where are they getting all the pickle juice?
The bar keeps it on hand.
Yeah.
Well, you worked in the bar, Tyler.
Yeah, you get giant 5-gallon barrels or 5-gallon buckets of pickles for like Caesars and Bloody Marys and shit like that.
Food service, big barrel of pickles.
Yep. So you order pickles 5 gallons at a time, so you just save the juice out of it. And we always had it in like a little squeeze bottle. And for like making Bloody Marys or Caesars or whatever, or else if somebody wanted a pickleback, you just squirt pickle juice in a shot glass. But it does. I like pickle juice anyways, so it's actually pretty decent.
It was. What was funny was I was like, how could this erase the taste? Literally.
It's all the vinegar and salt.
If you gave me a shot of any kind of whiskey, vodka, anything, I would drink that down. And I'd be like, I literally cannot stand the flavor, the taste, the smell.
Right.
And I did that, and I smelled that Jameson. I'm like, ooh. And I drank that. I'm like,
pickle juice.
want to go throw some lawn darts again?
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, I've known you for what, 5-6 years, Ron, probably something like that. I can count on one hand the amount of times I've actually, like, you've either tried or legitimately had a sip of something other than beer.
Right. Yeah. I just
and I know this is going to shock the people out there listening, but when me and Ron get together, we do have a few drinks occasionally, like 12 or 18 a night, it seems like. But yeah, you are just a beer guy. That's why I was so surprised that one time when you did that Facebook Live thing with Utzinger and you were drinking moonshine. I couldn't believe it.
I was taking the tiniest of sips possible.
Right.
But it got me a little bit. That's like that's like Zippo lighter fluid. That's terrible.
You know what? Wait a minute. I think I have some here. Yeah, I do. I think Utzinger brought this actually.
No.
And it's still flammable.
No, Tyler, what happened to your Wyoming whiskey? Oh yeah, what happened to your? They got a question from Mike there, Tyler.
We just did a 6-month sponsorship. They still send me some whiskey every once in a while, but we just never and it's so our 6-month sponsorship was up in January, and I'd never really returned to the email for a while. I just kind of, apparently having a bourbon sponsor was enough to make me forget the fact that I actually wanted to keep a bourbon sponsor. And I just kind of forgot about it, but it's good. I still have some of it here, and anybody that comes up here, we drink it at the Jamboree, and we had some last week actually. Do I have some out here? No, I don't have any out here. I have pretty much a fully stocked bar out here, though. It's I got I don't know, half a dozen bottles that way.
What's the best bottle on the shelf right now in there?
In here, well, it's not the best bottle I have by any means, but it's probably this one. It's a single barrel 1792 bourbon. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. I also have some Japanese scotch, which I do not like at all. So if anybody would like that, you can have it.
Akashi,
yes.
Yeah.
I keep all the good stuff in the house. I don't need it out here where I actually drink most of the time.
We use moonshine.
Tyler, where you at? Are you out in an outbuilding or something?
Yeah, I got a Quonset out here. God, I wish that I could stream this through my phone. I would actually walk you guys around because Ron actually hasn't. I could probably walk around with my laptop.
Turn the laptop around a little bit.
Yeah. Here, hold on.
The last time I was in that Quonset hut, it was just a garage, and we were cleaning the birds in there.
Right. So I'm going to take my. Well, God, how can I do this? Give me a second. You guys talk for a second. I'm going to figure this out. I got to close my garage door.
Hey, why don't I just send
talk
you
amongst ourselves?
I'll just send a link to your phone, and then you can just join from your phone temporarily.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Please hold.
There's where we need the technology guys right here and here.
We'll talk amongst ourselves while we're doing
Where's
it.
my technology guys? Roof and Doug are my technology guys.
That's right.
Oh, that's good. What's he got going here? All right. We're gonna go to
I hear
comments.
music all of a sudden. Where's the music coming from?
That's from my wife's phone.
Somebody's birthday or something over there, Doug?
Yeah, my wife turned 30 last Friday.
Is that a balloon over?
Yep,
Is that a balloon over your right shoulder?
it is. Yes, it is. My son picked out a Batman balloon for her 30th birthday.
Ooh.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Favorite region to hunt grouse in Michigan? Oh,
Not telling you. Go ahead.
well, I would tell you it's north of the bridge. North of the bridge. But It's where Rusty and I, when we bought the cabin tent, you, me, Jeff, Baba Booey, we went up to Paulding. Remember, Roof?
Oh yeah, Robbins Pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robbins Pond.
It's not. It wasn't the best bird numbers, but it was my favorite. It was just a great place to go.
That was a great hunt trip.
Mm-hmm. And then
so when I had I didn't have my zero gravity chair then, right? I had the cot.
The first trip we had the tent. Then
I had the cot.
Yeah, years later we re-erected the tent, and that's when you brought the zero gravity chair.
Zero gravity. I was playing astronaut.
I think Tyler bailed on us.
It tipped over. Well, it tipped over.
So it's not working on my phone, Doug. It won't let me actually hit the 3 buttons.
When you click on it, it should just open up in Chrome.
Well, I have an iPhone. Does that?
Or you can put it into Safari. That's fine.
Okay.
Because I'm here. I'll do it with you so we make sure we're doing.
To use StreamYard on this device,
you're right.
The 3-dot icon.
Paulding and the UP. The Paulding lights.
Yeah, the Paulding lights are real.
Paulding lights, is that UFOs? UFOs are a real thing in the UP.
No, it's an old railroad bed that there's an old switchman that was run over by a train.
Yeah, I do. I know what that is. Yeah. Yeah, they haven't figured that out yet, actually.
Mm-mm.
So it let me in, no problem.
So I get to this page, Doug.
Yeah, so copy the link.
Okay.
And then go, oops, please hold.
Marco. Today, I'm the luckiest man.
If you know that whole speech, Roof, that'd be fantastic. Okay, I've copied the link.
Okay, now go paste it into Safari.
Ron might even know what it is.
That's like an astronaut or something, isn't it?
No. It's Lou Gehrig.
No, it was Lou Gehrig. Lou Gehrig.
All right, I got it.
There you
I'm
go.
the luckiest man.
Today. All right. This is some exciting shit right here, ain't it?
Oh yeah.
Where you at, Doug?
Speaking of UFOs, the best spot to hunt hot ham and cheese sandwiches is in Hardee's in Munising, Michigan.
There it is.
All right.
All right.
All right.
You're sideways.
I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this.
Mute your computer. There we go. I did it for you. Go ahead.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so
how big is that? Is that like 30 feet long or something?
It's 40 feet long. It's
40.
That's 25 by 40, I think. So
wow.
I got a Blackstone grill out here that we cook on.
It's about the size of my foyer.
Nice. This is the Craig Jones Memorial Bar. Those guys had the bar built for me last year. I brought it back out here.
Boy, hang on a minute.
Screen. Wait, what?
Move a little bit slower. Your
I just want to catch up. I'm just trying to see it because it's all sideways.
I'll close this door here because it's screwing up the light. Come on.
Just turn your computer on its side, Ron.
And turn your phone sideways.
I didn't think of that.
Watch out, Russ.
Oh yeah, that's better.
Yeah, it's a lot
better. There we go.
So I got
the other way. There we go.
Oh, Ron, you're making me dizzy.
Oh, easy now.
Oh. Yeah, we're getting some wind here too.
All right.
I'm out on the boat.
So you guys, here's our kill board for the last couple of years.
It's upside down.
What?
I'm just telling you.
It's not upside down.
No.
It is on my screen.
Wow, one guy got 2019 birds.
Yeah.
It looked like 2018 did that.
That could have been over the limit.
Yeah, he beat the one guy by one.
And since you've been here, Ron, I've also put a full bathroom in.
Nice.
Oh boy.
I mean,
Wow.
I hope it's right side up by the time I get there.
God, how is it upside down on your screen?
It's not.
Well, you
It's
don't see it
not.
upside down, Doug?
No.
No,
On
none of
my-
us do.
On my computer, it's completely upside down.
That's
I
why.
got some,
Right there.
some good Benno Williams books.
Best day yet. But, hey, you keep going on the tour. I got to go check a dog.
This is the
You gotta go see a man about a dog.
Yeah.
that's the dog. That's the buck I shot in 17. Got some cool sheds here. These are bison teeth that are petrified.
How old do you know?
Old. I'm not sure. I found them in the banks of the Missouri. And
I mean,
then
would it
any
be
of you guys that?
decades or hundreds of years?
Oh, probably thousands of years. They're petrified. They're stone.
Thousands?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, they're
okay.
stone. Yeah, I got a couple of them.
He got him at
Yeah,
the
you
gift shop
can see.
along the Missouri River.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Found them on the railroad tracks.
the fishing was so good that day. I had time to go look for fossils. There's a look at those. Look at these little guys right here. Look at those. Hosted by Ron Bame of the Hunting Dog Podcast. That
For
guy's-
Pheasant Fest, huh?
Yeah. No, he sent those to me.
Wow.
And then if any of you guys know what those tops are, those are from Blanton's Bourbon.
Ooh.
That's quite the collection there, Tyler.
Yeah, I got more of them in the house. I haven't put out here yet. But yeah, it's I got my market lights, and yeah, this is the man cave. Well, we actually call it the Rooster Tail Saloon now. So I'm going to jump off this. And I'm going to come back on the regular one. But
That's cool.
I gotta, this has got to work.
There it is.
Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Like our
Yeah.
Yeah, the one guy that got 2019 birds.
Yeah.
Look at the.
I'm going to call DNR on them.
So in 2018, we had 146 Huns and 230 Sharptails. Last year, we got 176, 284. Well, and then we had to
That's a
start
lot of birds.
our own fur count too, because we had some guys with wire hairs up here, and they started killing badgers, skunks, raccoons, porcupines, feral cats.
I'm not sure if I agree with that. If you
Ron,
agree with what?
I got to go down to comments.
Feral like Egyptian.
they want to see your pad next, Ron. Do you want me to send you a link?
No, I can just pick up my computer.
I mean, you could, but that's kind of ghetto.
I know.
Hey, what do you call ancient Egyptian kings that go to school for plumbing? Feral
know.
faucet majors.
All right.
Ah.
There's see that broad axe? That broad axe and that saw, I took them out of a barn up in the UP. And there's some of my NAVDA plaques from dogs that passed different tests. And there's a pheasant. See that? There's a pheasant. I love dead hanging birds. I don't like live birds, like mounted. There was 3 pheasants on there.
I've never seen a live bird mounted, so
No, me neither. So there was 3 pheasants on that at one point when I got that, and my dogs ate 2 of them off of there. There's my wood stove. There's my reverse hyper. That's really just a tipsy. There's the whelping kennel back there, which is going to now be a sauna. There's my training table. Dead soldiers on the table. There's my NAVDA regulation training table. There is all the dogs' kennels in there. There's my table. And then
looks good.
And I can't twist my arms anymore. Anyway,
Looks good.
yeah. That's my little home away from home. That's where I spend most of my day. Mhm.
It's true.
Looks good, Ron.
Well, yeah, we got a little work to do. But yours is very polished and clean, Rusty. I know.
His
I
is
know.
fancier than ours, Ron.
Mine's a little office shed.
Well, and you know why it's fancier though? It's because he drinks O'Doul's and we drink real
Yeah,
booze
but-
and we lose our motivation.
Yeah, but when I get up in the morning,
That's
that's the
why.
best I'm going to feel.
Yeah.
That's the only downside.
That's true. We generally have a little glow going by
Yeah,
about
that's
6
the
o'clock in the
Frank
evening.
Sinatra line roof, right?
Yeah, well, I lost my beer, or I lost my O'Doul's. Here we go.
You're putting a sauna in that back room, huh?
I don't
I like
don't
it.
plan on having any litters. I mean, if we have a litter, I can adapt other pieces of the room. So that
Right.
that room is about 8 foot by 7 foot, and it's just
Be perfect.
for a small sauna.
Right.
And it's already insulated.
Are you gonna get one of the electric ones or like one of
Yeah.
the self-contained ones? Or okay.
I'm gonna get an electric heater, and I'm just gonna
Mhm.
go buy cedar and make a cedar bench and line the whole thing with cedar and drill a hole. I got a big concrete circular saw. They call it a core bore. I'm gonna put a big core bore hole right through the cement floor with a drain. You're not gonna have a lot of water in there, but it's got a little place for the water to
Sure.
go. And
It's going to be dancing Duke sauna.
It's harder to get that's going to be a hard invite to get.
Okay.
Cowboy sauna.
Okay, here's Brock guy. I'm gonna pronounce it properly. Sauna.
Sauna.
Sauna. Sauna. Sauna.
I like a sauna. I like a
Everybody likes
sauna or a hot tub.
bring
Either
your
one.
kettle down 6 easy steps. Tyler, what puppy are you keeping?
Well, I'm keeping I got 2 females here right now. The one is going to our friend Bruce.
No, we're talking about what puppy are you keeping?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is that I had
He missed
well,
the
I mean,
joke.
maybe none. Is that what you're trying to say?
On the first day of summer school, I got up.
I'll show. Well, there's pictures on the Instagram page of the different puppies. That's the easiest way to figure it out. And no, I am not calling her Cooter. God damn it! It will not stop.
Cooter. We used to call something else a cooter.
I know. Yeah, that's exact. I'm not calling her that.
My neighbors across the street,
Are they
Jerry,
named Cooter?
they had a short hair and they named it Cooter. And you could hear him out there, Cooter! Cooter! I got kids at home. What? Tyler.
Thank God I'm down to 2. I only have 2 puppies left. All the rest of them are gone, which has helped a little bit.
No, we hear ice.
What did you end up naming yours, Tyler?
Well, I named her. Well, her full name would be Dakota's Prairie Rose, but I'm going to call her Rosie.
Nice.
Good name.
That's cute, yeah.
No dog was ever named Rosie.
No, I know. I did think about going and doing something kind of like what you've done in the past, because if there's one thing that Ron does, like his dogs don't hunt and they don't listen very well, and they always
But
poop
they
and
got
pee
good
inside the
names.
house. They got really good names.
Good names.
They got really good names. Yeah, he's done very well. I remember when I first started listening to your podcast years ago, and I heard you say the name Zygon. I was like, God, that is a good name. Where do you come up with that?
I knocked it out of the park with that name.
Yeah, I didn't like
And-
Haskell. I didn't like Haskell at all, and I don't think you really did either. Like just
Well,
the
no,
dog in general.
The name was bad. The dog was worse. Yeah.
Yeah, Zygon was good. Artemis was good. Bravo. I love that dog. Doesn't matter what his name was. You can call him shithead
It's a
if you
great
want.
name for a dog. Bravo. It's a great name.
Yeah. So when he does something good, you just say bravo, bravo,
bravo, bravo. And
then
Zara.
Do you ever hear that? You know when people say, "Oh, that name fits that child" or whatever. Zygon was a Zygon. That was like the perfect name for Zygon. He was such a sweetheart. He was the Bravo of wire hairs. He was
yeah.
Yeah, he really was.
He didn't always feel that way about other male dogs, but when it came to people, me, my kids, that's another thing. Everybody, we talk about German dogs. Tyler's always talking about on his podcast, like, oh, them killing sons of a bitches, and they do kill some shit. But to date, to today, from my first dog, from a short hair to my wire hairs to the Bracos, I have never had a dog that crunched a bird and killed whatever amount of life was left in the bird when they picked it up was the amount of life left. Yeah, it's weird. I'm like, how could this dog that wants to kill a fawn or a badger or a raccoon pick up a bird like a surgeon bringing it to surgery?
Right.
Here, it's still alive.
Right.
I'll never understand it. I guess to me it's a bit of a blessing. At least you're not embarrassed when your buddy's dog's bringing the bird back, and you're going,
yeah. My buddy Mike's chocolate lab, and God, I hate this name. It's the worst name. Guess, Doug. Guess what his chocolate lab's name is?
Female.
Tyler.
Grizz.
Coco.
Oh, jeez.
Shoot me in the face, right? Yeah. Anyways, I hate that dog. I don't like that dog. I'm fine telling everybody that I hate that dog. And when I'm hunting with that dog, if any birds that dog picks up, I put in his game bag. I will not put them in my game bag because she's coming back. And like there's guts shooting out the ass. And it's like, no, I'm not carrying these birds. I'm not cleaning these birds. I'm not carrying them. Keep that goddamn dog away from me. I hate that dog. But with what you said is true, Ron. I have seen a lot of wire hairs, short hairs that'll kill a cat, a raccoon, a badger. I've seen my buddy Nate's dog Mojo killed a coyote once, and them dogs will come back. That rooster's head will just be up. They'll be looking around like, what happened? There I was sitting in the grass. I flew up and something hit me, and all of a sudden I'm in this dog's mouth.
Yeah, I've seen. But my favorite one was I was in Virginia, my house in Virginia. And me and Bruce Robertson, one of my old employees at Roof, knows Bruce real well. And we wanted to go up. We're just screwing around up in the mountains in West Virginia. And we're like, oh, my God, all these reservoirs up there had geese. So the next week, we already had our license. We had our, all of our stuff. So we bring our shotguns back, and we decided to do a stalk on these geese in this low, flat water on the end of the reservoir. And Bruce has got a lot more energy than me and a lot younger than me. So I kind of got on a spot where I could, just pass shoot. And Bruce ran in to either shoot and flush or just flush the geese. He shot one, I shot one. I think we had 3 dead geese, but one goose just got winged, middle of a reservoir, a big reservoir, and you're not getting it. And I had Frankie, this is a dog way back in the day. I had Frankie, and Frankie swam out after it. And I did not know. I've seen ducks dive. I did not know to that day a goose can dive like a damn mallard. Hey, Mallard, quit it. So this goose dove. And once the goose dove, Frankie was like, well, I guess that's over. I'm like, oh. Now, on Sundays in Virginia, in a lot of eastern states, there's blue laws that you're not allowed to hunt on Sundays.
Right.
So I didn't have Zygon with me that day, but I go back on a Sunday, no gun. I just bring Zygon. I'm like, I got to try to get this goose. I know this goose is on the water. Now, I'm not saying it's a giant reservoir. It's probably 10 acres, 15 acres, but
Pretty big
it's
piece
it's a lot of shoreline.
Sure.
And I said, I'm just going to go out there anyway because it wasn't working. Brought Zygon out there and started walking around the berm and all the way around the back. And I'll never forget this. This dog just was like, all of a sudden, and he started going along. And all of a sudden, he goes along the edge of this reservoir. And I see the dog just disappear. Pop up with this goose. Turn around and start walking back to me. And this goose.
Its head is just moving. Oh, yeah.
It's like, hey, what's up? What's up? Hey,
like a periscope.
Yeah, like a periscope. So he's bringing the goose back. Now, I can't say that I've ever been scared of a goose.
Right.
And why would I worry about a
goose?
Why would I worry about a goose biting me? How bad could the bite be? But I was like this. Here's the goose. I'm like going, how do and Zygon ain't going to drop this goose. And I'm like, out. And Zygon lets it go. And now I'm walking around with this totally alive goose going like, God, this goose has got to hate me right now.
Yep.
This goose has got to hate life right now.
Hey, like Bravo, maybe Bravo's jowls are legendary, period. But Rusty's got some pretty good jowls on him too. And I saw him one of the first, like it was just a wingtip ton. I mean, like it barely had like this much of the wingtip was broken on it. I mean, you could have kept this thing for a pet.
Right.
And he came back, and this poor bird is so tucked up underneath of his jowls. Like, I mean, like it was like this. I mean, like I pulled that thing out, and like the wings came out from like his molars, right? And that bird just like looked around, like, oh my God, I don't know where in the hell I was at, but I don't want to go back in there. Like I could have kept that bird as a pet, though. I mean, he wouldn't. He doesn't kill pheasants if they're wounded. Nothing. And my short hair doesn't either. Bo doesn't either.
All right, so I'm getting some shit about pointing labs. Please hold.
Let's get on it.
Please hold.
I gotta hit new comments.
Yeah, please hold.
Please hold on. I'll show you a video of her on point. I'll be goddamn.
She points better than Ron's dogs.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to take her.
Looks better.
She's going to come out to North Dakota. And
fuck yeah.
I'll tell you.
Great, Doug.
That she is.
I have never seen that, Doug. I've never seen it.
You've never.
That's awesome.
No, I've never. I've seen a couple labs that, stop and I call it standing game.
Yeah, she doesn't stand game.
That's intent. That's a staunch point.
She's been doing
a very staunch point.
Oops. There we go.
Yeah. Why do you delete me? I'm being nice to your dog here. I'm saying that like Ron's dog Bravo points like Siegfried the Cowardly Lion. Like his tail goes like this, and it's pretty funny.
Over there.
But no, that dog looked great. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did not teach her to.
Is that your dog or is that somebody else's? Did you borrow that dog?
That is my dog. That's the one I'm bringing out to North Dakota.
What have you decided you're coming out yet?
I am going to, as long as Game Fair is canceled.
Oh, sweet.
So, yep. As soon as they cancel it, I will. I do want to do a waterfowl hunting though, so I don't. Got to make sure that I can get out on that season.
You can do everything. Waterfowl hunting out here is pretty easy. You'll have plenty of time for other stuff.
Man.
Yeah, Doug, you need to get out. You need to get out there. You need to get out there.
Yeah, she is.
When are you going, Doug?
Whenever Tyler will have me. I think we were talking the first the first week.
The first week of October. Yeah.
Early October.
That's when Bruce and those guys are going to be there too.
Yeah.
Is there room in the Kwanzaa for the roof?
Absolutely, man. Come on out. I got 2 cabins that'll sleep. One of them will sleep 6. One of them will sleep 5. I got the Quonset will sleep 4. I got blow up queen size beds out here, and then I can sleep 3 in the house. So
I'll sleep in a bloody tent. I don't even care.
But Ron, did you hear that TB's son is getting married opening day of pheasant season? North Dakota opening day of pheasant season. He's flying out here the second day.
No,
like he's taking off. Like the wedding is on Friday, and he's taking off Saturday morning, which would be opening day. He's going to be up here before the end of the day on opening day, and he's going to stay for a week.
Wow.
It's like, man, come on. What are you doing? What kind of kid do you raise?
Well, yeah, I don't want to speak to that. Rusty always tells me, don't use names.
That's right.
I use names, but I don't know. I just know with kids, you don't know if they're going to throw you a curveball or not. But that was just mean. That was just mean. What that tells me is they have
close. I got I mean, if 7 of you bring tents, I think we're good.
Right, bring some pup tents. We got it.
Yeah. I got some friends. They got campers and shit. We'll pull them out. It'll be a good time.
None of you guys are hunting with any of us, but that's fine.
Right. You're on your own. What's up, poophead?
Ron, you're going to be up here, I think, and I don't know, like this isn't spoiling anything, but I think you're coming up with McGrail end of August, early September, right?
Yeah, end of August, 1st of September. Yeah.
You're not going to want to go home this year. This is going to be the year. This will be the best year since you and I have known each other to be out here.
That's exciting to hear.
Oh,
I got within 3 miles of my house, I'm going to have a dozen coveys of Huns within 3 miles of my house.
Right. When I went there last time was 2 years ago. I got into those Huns over there, that WMA over there. And
there's a bunch of them over there.
Nobody hunts over there.
I do. I do. That's it. I'm the only person who hunts over there. And I only hunted over there once last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And pheasants over there too. But there was, man. So on the north side of that WMA last year, there's a giant. It's actually just an alfalfa field, and there was, I don't know, 100 Huns in that field in a quarter. Yeah, there was like 5 big coveys.
Wow.
It's going to be really good this year. No, I am not on Airbnb. We've actually, like, me and Doug talked a little bit about trying to get Benny Spies to come on here because that dude likes to get, like, not only does he drive a Winnebago called the Toaster, but he likes to get toasted. That guy would be fun on here.
I think it's a natural.
Yeah. Yeah, we need Ron's oeuvre to get him to come on. He's too big of a star for us just yet.
We could do it.
People are really obsessed about those things.
I know. Yeah, and well, next week we have a very special treat for you guys that are obsessed with my scented candles. Also, I'm going to mention. I got to find the right one here. So I got them all in here. This one. So whenever
my wife's claiming my bird dog.
Whenever this whole podcasting thing dries up and I need to become a stripper, this is going to become my stage name. Right there.
Vanilla sugar. Ladies and gentlemen, next up on stage, Vanilla Sugar.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure which song I'm going to come out to yet. I'm still working on that, but by next week I'll have it picked out.
Maybe Tina Turner, you better be good to me or something.
I was thinking Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot, but whatever.
That's too obvious. That's too obvious.
Butts, maybe. I don't know.
Should we tell them what we're going to do next week or keep it surprise?
Yes. Yeah.
Welcome Mercedes to the stage. Mercedes to the stage.
Yeah. Every
Diamond.
every woman that's ever been named Mercedes coming out to dance she's been named that because she's the size of a Mercedes. It's not because she looks expensive and elegant. It's because she's the size of a Buick.
If I had I need to get a soundboard so I can put a sound box in and start adding sound effects. there's so much.
We need a snare drum.
If somebody's got a mixing board they're not using, ship it to me.
Hey, I got one. I'll send it to you. I've never used it.
There you go. Send it to me. We're gonna add some sound effects.
Perfect.
I want to know what we should have a contest to name Ron Sauna.
The sauna?
We should have a name. Yeah, what were you gonna name that?
Oh goodness.
Oh, that's a good question.
Right now, dancing. You got to bump that, but that's what it is right now. So
Oh yeah, it's dancing.
find a better name.
Well, that's a good question. Miller, did you just pee in here? Miller, come up here. Come up here and say hi to everybody. Come up here. Come here. Come on. Up. Come on. Up. Come on. Attaboy. Come on. Come on up.
Whoa, steady.
I can only be the right if I'm going to pee on somebody, so I don't want to do that.
This is just ridiculous.
Is that Zara or is that Miller?
No, Zara left. That's Miller right now.
Okay.
Look at that face. Look at the.
Yeah, you could hide a turkey in those jowls.
Oh, now Bravo's coming right up the front line. Bravo, go. Everybody go. Everybody go lay down. We'll hunt next year. Maybe.
Are you gonna bring them all out this fall in August? You should.
You know, I will probably honestly leave Bravo at home because he's getting old. Not that he can't hunt, but
sure. But it's going to be warm.
Every time you bring the dog with the experience, the dogs without the experience don't get to work.
Right.
And Sue loves Bravo, and she can take care of him here. What I want to bring is Taffy and probably Miller or Miller and Zara and Taffy. But Bravo's going to stay here and just lay in the kennel. Yeah.
When I think it was the first week of March, me and Nate took Mojo, his pointer, Rusty and Bo and CJ up just north of my house, and we moved like 65 sharp tails, literally walking from my house.
That's a lot.
Those young dogs are going to get a lot of experience out here this year.
Hey, did you guys see the Taffy talks?
I didn't.
So on my website, on Hunting Dog Podcast website, Matt Giorio's been loading up the videos that.
Wait a minute. Is that the Hunting Dog Podcast website.com or is it the huntingdogpodcast.com or what is the website? Because I've listened to every one of your intros. You haven't actually told me exactly what it is yet.
Yeah, it's the huntingdogpodcast.com website.
Well,
No.
you know how we could fix that, Tyler? We could have the Hunting Dog Podcast sponsor Ron. That way we'll hear all about it.
Yeah.
He wins the comment of the day. Right there.
Hey folks, we got a new sponsor.
No. You're my hero. And so many.
Anyway, it's too fucking funny.
There.
Yeah, mic drop. Here, mic drop.
The
Roof is on fire. Absolutely.
The roof is.
I can push your butt for a sound drop right now.
That's right. The roof is on fire.
So anyway, but that's funnier and shit. So Jordan Horick, that has Cato Outdoors.
There it is. Not to be mistaken with Cato Gear.
Gear that I always screw up.
It doesn't exist.
Outdoors. He's a Cocker Spaniel trainer and excellent dog trainer. He's got Taffy. he's had Taffy for a month, and every week we're putting on a little video of him working with Taffy. And the last one, he finally introduced her to pigeons, and it was like sending your kid off to military school and having the
stripper bus show up.
Basically, yeah.
Oh my God, I haven't seen that in weeks.
Mm-hmm. But she's doing good now. I don't know if I'll be able to maintain what he's done, but
Nope.
No. Thank you, Doug.
I mean, I thought I had.
But that's why you're leaving her there though for 2 months. Is that way you can allow her to backslide a little bit? Like
Right.
it's just like taking a pointing dog to a trainer and having him whoa broke. Like it doesn't like. That's my favorite command. I use that with all my dogs, or doing whatever. And my dogs are not steady to wing, shot, and fall. My dogs are steady to wing, and I can whoa them if I need to, if I'm out of range. But I mean, is what you're doing though is you're having her sent there for. I mean, she's been there for a month already, right?
Oh yeah.
And she's going to be there for a little while longer. So I mean that way she can backslide, and you're still going to be happy with what you got. And hopefully she doesn't get lost in a cornfield in South Dakota this year.
Oh, she will. But my hope is that I can
stop the flush.
That I can stop her.
She's got a $8 for now.
In fact, Jordan said on the last little video we did, he says, "Now normally, I don't let a young dog get into a cornfield full of birds before I steady him up to birds." But Taffy's had some bird experience.
She had more bird experience in an hour than most dogs have in a year.
I'm telling you what. For people who don't know this story, this dog, we were hunting corn strips in South Dakota, and she got out of our strip and she went to another strip. People went back to the bus and had lunch and drinks. And I'm walking up and down these corn strips looking for Taffy! Come! I mean, there's no Taffy coming, right? And I know there's no control here, but I have this hope that, like, if she sees me, she'll come to her dad. She'll come, "Oh, I'm sorry." But everybody back at the bus, sitting on tailgates and rails of the pickup trucks, could tell exactly where Taffy was, because that's where the birds were flying up out of the corn. All like, and we still did not get her back in the 40, 50 minutes that it took to eat lunch. What happened was I said, "I'll go block on the end in case she comes out."
Because what happened is she got tired. That's what happens.
I am told that she wasn't that tired. We decided to do another drive down this road to see if there was a bird left in it, maybe. And she popped out, and Casey, who runs White Lake Hunting Lodge, in fact, I think it's funny, she took like a third base slide to grab Taffy and ripped out the whole bottom of her pants. Yeah. And grabbed Taffy, and then somebody else grabbed it from Casey because Casey's kind of helping, guide the hunt. And then somebody else took Taffy and put her back in the kennel. So they get to the end of the field, and I'm like, I know she's out. Anybody seen her? Oh, yeah. Right when we got started, we got her. We grabbed her. She's back in the kennel. I'm like, oh, good. Oh, my God.
And then she sat.
It was.
So I showed up in South Dakota a day late, right?
Yeah. Wow.
So I get there on an evening. All the hunters are in this little Kwanzaa talking. So, Ronnie introduces me to everyone, and I asked, "So, how are the dogs doing?" And everyone just started laughing, and they couldn't even look at me straight. And I heard the Taffy story. Well, now that you asked, Roof,
Mike, I think it's
Taffy's
probably
a
what's
flusher,
happening.
that's for sure.
Mike, I think what may be happening is, has your dog been to a pro trainer or is it something you've done yourself? Because it sounds like your dog's just getting confused.
Yeah.
That would be what I would think, is that your dog's getting confused and he's thinking, I don't know what to do. Maybe he just wants me to come back.
Yeah.
But if it's been and I've got experience with exactly 2 pro trainers, Todd Lehner over in Montana, who took care of CJ, and Justin McGrail, or I'm sorry, that's backwards. Todd Lehner over in Montana, who took care of Bo, and then Justin out in Michigan, McGrail, who took care of CJ. And it's the same thing, but it's a little different. So is what they do on WOA training with the Smith system, actually, because that's what Todd trains out there. The same thing that Rick and Ronnie do. He's been mentored under the Smith guys. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you this first, and then we'll come back to it. But is what he did is to stop a dog, to WOA a dog, it's continuous stimulation on the collar. What Justin does is momentary stimulation on the collar. So it's like the same thing but different. So like to stop the dog, stop my short hair, you just hold down low stimulation. It gets him to stop. You say whoa, reinforce it. With CJ, it's just whoa, it's not temporary. What the hell word am I looking for, Ron?
Momentary.
Momentary, yeah, that. And like, so they're trained the same way. They understand the same command, but it's trained just a little bit different. The reason that the Smith system is trained the way it's trained is because of the belly. Like they use a WOA post and a belly band first and everything else. If everything is,
do the Smiths use a belly band?
Yeah, well, they use a WOA post with a half hitch around the flank,
For sure,
and then
for sure.
and then they go from the WOA post and the belly and the half hitch around the flank to a collar on the flank, and then they transition the collar off the flank to a collar on the neck. So like it's all points of contact with the Smith guys is what they do. Now you're saying that it's all things I've done on my own. It sounds like your dog's just getting confused. And is when they get confused and they're still and like when what you're saying there to me would mean that you have a cooperative dog. That's a dog that's trying to make you happy. It's like, okay, I understand you're telling me to do something. I don't know what it is, so I'm just going to come back to you.
Right.
That would be like, if you need to like start actually training it a little bit more clearly, then the dog will probably figure it out pretty fast.
Yeah. Something that I would ask is, how does a dog do on WOA 10 feet from you? So if you've got the dog within no, I'm talking about Mike here. So how close does the dog do when you're using the WOA command up close? If he's not doing it perfect within your, that 10-foot circle, he's not going to do it perfect outside. I would, typically, like when I see dogs run back to their owner, there's usually the collar was used incorrectly. So too hot, too hard, too long, and used in conjunction with commands that they didn't understand. So the collar, it could not be, it may not even be just a confusion thing. It just might mean that the dog was put under pressure, and the pressure doesn't have to be collar. The pressure could be voice, right? So that pressure was created and the dog's understanding. So maybe it's took off yelling and you're screaming at it, lighting it up.
What kind of dog is it, Mike? Is it a pointing dog or a lab as well? I'm just curious. And how old?
It's a pointing dog, I believe.
And how old?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure I messed up. So I like that. I'm sure I messed up somewhere down the line.
Okay. How old, Mike? It sounds like to me it would probably be pretty young. 3, okay. If he's coming back to you at 3, that would mean he's probably a pretty soft-mannered dog, and there's just been too much pressure applied for sure.
Too much confusion.
Yeah, like try it without the collar, and just try it like Doug's suggesting, in a very short, like a short range, and try it on a check cord. I know there's a lot of people out there that aren't wild about check cords, but you can use a check cord as a very, very low stimulation whoa command
Well,
and just make that dog stop.
Tyler, you've met Justin and you see what he does with dogs.
Check cords are. I don't live without them, man.
There is not a dog since the 1890s, before they had electronic collars. Everything was a check cord.
Right.
You step on it to stop them. You grab it.
Right.
You reel it in to bring them to you.
Right. And I will tell you right now that check cords can be way more pressure than e-collars used improperly. I have seen people, no kidding, I have watched them do things to dogs that are flat out fucking illegal. I mean, like almost like ringing them around like they're throwing a lasso. So check cords can be used improperly as well. But with what you're saying, yeah, for sure. But what you're saying there doesn't suggest to me that like it's been that bad. I would just say like lighten up on the pressure if you're going to stick with it on the e-collar, but I would make sure the dog knows the command first, because it just sounds to me like he's just confused.
Yeah, I want to answer. And Anthony Rossi says, what would be a negative of a check cord? Negative would be like literally losing your temper and turning the dog ass over tea kettle.
Right.
So that would be the same equivalent of shocking your dog.
Burning it down.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you could take a check cord and you yank on that check cord and that dog flips over. That's no help either. You know?
You're not like, in fact, you're not going to get that kind of stimulation on an e-collar. You're not. Right. I mean, like if somebody loses a temper with a check cord doing something bad, they can literally hurt a dog bad. Yeah. But the nice thing about a check cord though is that when you have a dog that, like, if a dog is properly collar conditioned, and I know that that's something like we're going to have somebody, hopefully Justin, get into, because I am nowhere near qualified to talk about this, specifically an hour or two, and I'm a half dozen drinks in. But like all the pressure, like it's a pressure on, pressure off system, right? Like, I mean, like when you hit them with a collar, it's momentary pressure on the neck. It tells them to do something, or it tells them that they're doing something wrong. Now with a check cord, it's the same thing. It's just pull back, that's pressure on, and they, you say whoa, and they stop. They can't go any farther. They physically can't go any farther unless they're stronger than you. But if you lose your temper when you're dog training, you need to stop immediately. And I have been having a time with this myself, right? Like recently. Oh my God. I understand. Like my puppies are 10 weeks old, and I have been like right there on losing my temper on a bunch of different shit. Because when I say, hey, come on over here, let's go in the house, and then they turn around, they run like a quarter mile the other way, drives me absolutely freaking insane. Right? Yeah, I know, exactly. And I have started putting them on check cords. Exactly right. But like it just drives me nuts. But if you feel like you're starting to get mad at the dog, you need to stop. Stop your training session right there. Do not go any further. Go back the next day and then start working on it again.
I want to correlate this to, and I've said this to many people, many phone calls, many podcasts. Raising a kid and raising a puppy are so similar. But the difference is a baby, from day 1 to day 300, it's a very slow development. But you'll find analogies the same with a puppy. The problem is the puppy from day 1 to day 180, he's already a teenager. He's already a teenager, and you have to. The biggest thing about training dogs is you got to learn to read dogs. And that's, I hate to say it, but it's a skill that only comes with either screwing up a few of them.
Yeah. You can't read it in a book. You cannot read it in a book.
You have to just like, oh, I remember that. Oh yeah, I remember that. It's, I'm not saying it's impossible, because you can get that good dog that's cooperative and he's got talent and he's also resilient.
Yep.
And you can kind of screw up a little bit, but you get the wrong dog and you put too much pressure on that dog, he'll never forget it. And you'd be like, oh my God, I got the worst dog in the world. You could have had my favorite thing is the best heavyweight. I'm just saying heavyweight, the best heavyweight boxer in the world. I don't know who it was.
He could beat the shit out of Mike Tyson in his prime,
Right.
but he never,
But he never got off the porch. We don't know who the best boxer was.
It was probably you, actually.
Well, I didn't want to say that.
It was Ron's mustache.
But so
that thing punches above its weight. There's no doubt about it.
The thing to take away from it is you got to learn to read dogs. And if you don't know how to read dogs, you got to take things slow and then take it slower.
Yeah. Well, I'll give a really good example of me screwing up the dog that's laying alongside me right now. I mean, Ron's hunted with Rusty plenty. I mean, he's a great wild bird dog. I had one mistake when I was training him the very first season. He was just over a year old, and he and his dad, my first dog Ace, they went in and they're pointing and backing on a covey of sharptails, opening day of sharptail season in an alfalfa field. And me and my buddy Donnie walk up on both sides. Birds go up. I shoot 2. He shoots 2. And for whatever reason, Rusty and Ace went after the exact same bird, the exact same dead bird. And it may have been because it was the first one. It may have been because it was just closest to him, whatever it was. And they both grabbed it and they started pulling it apart. And I nicked Rusty on the collar, and he didn't pick up a fucking bird for 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years. Mm-hmm. Like, it was like, and it wasn't because, like, he still hunted great, but he's like, okay, nope, I'm not supposed to pick these birds up. And like, it was literally that fast. It was one mistake. And he's like, I'm done.
A perfect analogy is you think about scary movies.
Right.
You watch scary movies and you say, oh my God, go. Oh, you kids, don't open the door. Don't open the door. Don't open the door. And if you open the door, right?
Right.
How would the rest of your life go like, you know, I'm an adult now.
Sure. And then there are some of those dogs.
And I'm going to open that door. Fuck no, I'm not going to open that door.
And then there's some of those dogs, though, that'll open that door 100 times, and you're not going to mess them up. Like, I mean, there are those bulletproof dogs out there, and short hairs can be that breed that can take a little bit more pressure, or wire hairs. And like, there's people of them out there that have that, just that tenacity to do whatever it is, where they can withstand a mistake or two. And then there are certain breeds, like setters specifically, which don't have the highest retrieve drive. Like, I'll put Rusty on a wounded diver duck in a slough right now, and he will go out there and he'll retrieve it. He will swim all day long. We did it last year when the Michigan guys were up here. We knocked down a bluebill in a deep slough. He was out in a half frozen pond for 40 minutes trying to find that duck before he finally got it and brought it back. But like, he has retrieve drive, but he has that, like, they're just a little softer. And like, it's just like, there are dogs that you can make some mistakes with. And then there's dogs that are going to, like, they're like, oh, okay, I messed up. Never going to do that ever again. So you need to take everything a lot more careful. And that's what I've found out now.
There's dogs that went to public school and there's dogs that went to Catholic school.
Sure. And also, you know, like, I still use dog collars, and they have that rheostat system. It goes from 0 to 127, and each one of my dogs has a little bit different setting. Like, I usually run on both of my male dogs, both Rusty and Bo. They're usually about a 30, you know, like, they're literally like a quarter of the level. But CJ, she's like a 20. You know, so I mean, like, you can kind of dial it in there a little bit, but like, low stimulation. Like you want it to just be like somebody walked up to you and just like tapped you on the shoulder. That's all you want. Like, if you hear a yelp, you are way too high, unless you're trying to like trash break a dog. If you're trying to trash break a dog, then burn them down. Like if they're chasing deer or something, flip them over backwards. I mean, go crazy, because you want that kind of a negative experience, but you do not want that kind of a negative experience on anything bird related.
No. I want to have Doug answer this question.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, like, so there's two things that I'm going to piggyback on what Tyler said. So the dogs that can handle pressure are usually the dogs that have high drive. The higher the drive, the more mistakes you can make with a dog. So kind of having a high drive dog, and I'm a super high drive dog can be like a double-edged sword, because you can make a ton of mistakes, but they're a lot of work to train, because your reflexes and your corrections have to be super crazy fast. With that being said, I truly believe that it's your job to train the dog how to deal with pressure, right? Mm-hmm. So you're going to teach a compulsion style training. So in compulsion, meaning anything that you use an e-collar for, that's essentially becoming a compulsion style training. You're teaching a dog how to deal with pressure. So with my labs, whether I nick them on a 1 or a 7, which would be a 70 on Tyler's collar, the dog should understand how to deal with that. So when I'm going through my collar conditioning, I will mix the temperature of what I'm nicking her at. So I'll do a lot of it on low, but I mix in, a 5 or 6 or a 7, so the dog starts to understand that it doesn't matter what temperature that you're getting nicked at, you still have to perform, you still have to push through it. So I think you can make a dog tougher than they are by constantly using super high levels, because a dog will learn through it. So you have to, if you're constantly training at a 6 when a dog should be working at a 2, you're teaching the dog to be stronger than it is, right? So when it does need that big correction, now you're bumping it up to something that's ridiculous that it probably didn't need. So I think, find the working temperature that it needs to be. My dog, my puppy is actually like a 2.5. Ollie's more like a 4, because she's just I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. So I made classic cases. I made her tougher than what she is.
Right.
But you teach them, and I think you need to teach them to work at high pressure, because there's going to be times, that you need them to respond at a high pressure. And if my dog's running at a road, I'm going to turn it up, because I want that message to be loud and clear, but I also want them to be able to understand and work through that pressure to do what they need to do.
Sure.
My soapbox.
Yeah. And that's the thing about e-collars, is that they don't come with a training course. They should absolutely have a mandatory training course.
I mean, they should have a hunter safety course equivalent.
Sure. Like when I say that a dog to a collar that I use goes to 127, I cannot think of a level of something that I would ever need to do to use a 127.
Nope.
Like the highest level I've ever hit one of my dogs at on my collars has been like a 70. And a 70 is enough to make him kai-eye back to me. Like, that's a trash breaking scenario. So like if you're using a 1 to 9 on a lot of those other collars, if you get anything over above half juice, that's a lot. Like, put that on your arm and try it once.
That's where learning to use a collar, and I've never trained a dog with a collar. I took a dog all the way to the invitational test with no collar,
because you can't use them in NAVDA.
Well, and I was never good at it, and I didn't want to use it. And it doesn't matter if it goes to 126 or it's like that old, what was that old movie, like, well, this goes to 11. Well, the old
yeah.
Oh
my God! Somebody's gonna get it.
What was that movie? Spinal Tap.
Yes.
Spinal Tap.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I got 11. Well, we had 10. He goes, yeah, but this speaker goes to 11.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
You don't need to get there. Yeah.
You don't. You start out at the bottom. You find out what your dog's reaction is. Yes. If you can dial it in, micro dial, great. But Spinal Tap, somebody wrote it. But you find out what your dog reacts to, and then you just work with that.
Yes. When you see their ear twitch or something, like, it doesn't take
that.
That's enough. Don't go higher than that.
Now, if you're going to break them off a running deer, hit them one. I mean, I don't.
Right.
But I was working with Justin the other day, and we've been wanting to get a little bit of video footage, just because we're playing with this, of some of the dogs that come in and chase deer. He says, I want you to go over here and go over there and watch this. And we couldn't get the deer to cooperate, let alone the dogs to cooperate. But when you do it, the same dog that would get that little like on a scale of 1 to 10, let's just say, that dog that would be at a scale of 2 to be like that, that's probably all that dog needs to be. You don't have to light the dog up to 10.
Right.
If a 2 gets his attention,
right. Go to a 5, maybe, if you need something. If you really need to get his attention. Yeah, you don't need to go all the way up.
Don't jump to a 10 because you're trying to trash break.
Right.
Just go like, oh, because you could do it. It's
generally is what I do is anything that I'm gonna like. I know my dog's level because I work with them a lot. If you're gonna trash break, or if you're working on a trash breaking scenario, double it. So like if I'm working with CJ and she's like a 25, I'm gonna go to 50 because that's gonna be an unpleasant experience for her. If I'm working,
don't go to 126.
Don't go to do not just go like. We're like Ron said, we're gonna take this to 11. Go to like 5. Like that's enough. But before we leave though, and I know that we do need to get going because me and Ron and Roof and Doug need to sit here and talk about all you guys. Anthony Rossi actually had a pretty good question about his 7-month-old Springer. You want to pull that one up? So is what you need to do, and there's Doug can definitely answer this better than I can because I'm not a retriever guy, but you need to start working in some blanks. Like you don't need to go to full volume gunshots at all, and definitely don't do it with birds. But if you start using a blank pistol or something like that with 209 primers and retrieving dummies, they're a lot quieter. Put it behind your back and fire it behind your back so it's not anywhere close to it. But clapping it's not going to get it done.
Yeah, I typically will start out at 100 yards and at 7 months old, I mean, if you're working on retriever stuff as well, that dog will probably be doing marks between 80 to 100 yards at that point.
Right.
So hand throwing marks, again, throwing it behind your back, starting off. By the time that my pups are Luna, I think we started at 5 months, introducing the 209, and it was first somebody standing at 150 yards while somebody was throwing a mark at 60 yards. So the dog, was picking something up at 60, and then they progressively move closer and closer and closer. And then we eventually transitioned to shooting off the bucket with 209s, which is still super quiet when it's in a 12 gauge, in a 12 gauge popper. Yeah, it's still super quiet, and then it moved to live birds and pigeons and shooting 410s and 20 gauges and 12 gauges.
Yeah, but there's a lot of steps in there though between going from a 209 and bumpers to a full blown 12 gauge and ducks. Yep. Right? I mean, there's a lot of steps there. And
let me throw this in real quick because I was just doing this with Justin today. So there's a lot of ways. I think maybe Doug could confirm this. A lot of lab people, pointing people tend to say, let your dog chase a bird flying away or a pigeon and then introduce the gunfire because he's so focused on the bird that the noise won't bother him. And that's ideally what happens. But then there's a lot of lab trainers. They're like, well, our dogs aren't chasing birds. Our dogs are, sitting for commands. So they'll introduce those dogs to distance gunfire and everything. Is that what you do, Doug? A little distance gunfire?
It starts off that way, yeah.
Right.
Luna, I was shooting 12 gauge poppers off the bucket by 8 months old.
Right.
But to Tyler's point, there's a big difference between shooting a popper that's a primer inside of a 12 gauge hull inside of
a full blown 12 gauge.
And then taking it out and duck hunting because in a blind you've got echo, you've got dogs sitting right next to you. It's just a way different experience. Yeah,
multiple shots a lot of times.
What I'm going to say is because we've heard all the things like going to a gun club, banging pots and pans. If you bang pots and pans to desensitize your dog to gunshots, what you've got is a dog that might be able to hunt in the kitchen.
And I'm not sure where you're located at, but if you go to the HRC website, there's
he did re-comment. he's working with them in parks in town. Take some weekends or like you'll be able to find out what kind of dog you have real fast. Get a dog. Like, you do not want to do any of this stuff with birds, right? I mean, like, if you're going to have a negative reaction, you're going to want it with a bumper. But get them out of town. Get them out. Take them to a lake. Do whatever you want to do. But
you also need a helper.
You can shoot.
Get a help. Get the helper.
Find a buddy.
Find a buddy. If you don't have a wife, daughter, mom, dad, you're up against it anyway.
You're such a feminist. How do you find three, like, moms, daughters, and God, what a feminist.
I say, just get someone to help you. I'm not saying you can't do it on your own, but get someone to help you, because you can create that distance between you and the dog.
Right.
Help.
Anthony, I just posted a link to the Hunting Retriever Club. Go to there, type in your zip code, find the club that's closest to you. Any guy in that club or gal will be more than happy to help you gun train. And most of them hold puppy training sessions on a pretty regular basis, where they probably already have that stuff scheduled and can help you work through it.
And you can always check out a NAVTA chapter as well. I mean, you don't have to go to a NAVTA chapter because you can go to a NAVTA chapter even if you don't have a pointing dog. Like, all the NAVTA chapters are very welcoming of anybody with labs, and
unless you have a pointing lab.
Yes. Well, okay.
The Traverse City one would not let me come, so screw you.
If you have a pointing silver lab, you could have went.
If I had a silver lab, that might have happened.
That might have been a Wine Rider.
But if you guys could do us a favor, next week is going to be our 10th episode. If you guys can go to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, and if you guys can, in the comments, put who you would like to see as our 10th guest. We've had a lot of dog training questions tonight after we've all been soused, which is pretty fun. I gotta tell you, because it makes me feel a lot smarter than I really am. But if it is somebody like Justin McGrail, we've talked to Justin. He said he'd be happy to come on, or somebody else. Anybody that you guys can think of that you would like to have on for our 10th episode. I mean, that's going to be kind of a big one next week for us. I mean, like, who knows how long this quarantine is going to last, but if we can get it going for another few weeks, just let us know who we can hear from.
There's a few other people that actually followed in our footsteps, and one that came before and two that came after. But they're like, we're not going to keep doing it. Hey, if you guys keep watching, we'll keep doing this.
Absolutely.
We love
getting together once a week and drinking is kind of fun regardless, right? I mean, like, it's not like this isn't really work. I was talking to somebody earlier today.
I have to drive for 19 hours to have a beer with Tyler. I don't have to drive 19 hours to have a beer.
Exactly right. But make sure that you put it in the comments on our Facebook page, or not on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page. Sorry, that's the vodka speaking. But put it in there, and we're going to end this right now. We're going to sit here and have a couple more beers. Happy Memorial Day, guys. Hopefully you guys are getting out, doing something good. If you guys are from Michigan, hopefully you're not flooded. I know there's been a lot of that shit going on, and Ron's got something to say.
One thing, Roof, you remember when you had alley-oops? And yep. I wasn't around. You sent the dog for a retrieve.
Yeah. Right. Well, yeah. When I was out at a put and take in Illinois.
Let's end it on this one.
So we're out at a put and take, and she was actually doing some decent bird work, because Al Harmeyer had worked with her for about a month, so she was doing pretty good. So we were at a put and take, so we could shoot the girls, right? So. Yeah. She pointed a bird, a hen went up. The guy I was hunting with shot it. Ellie went and retrieved it, and she came back with a cocked pheasant. So what am I going to do? Tell her we shot a hen? She knew the hens were illegal, so she was protecting me. So she brought back a cocked pheasant, and I'm the only one that noticed. No one else noticed. They're like, oh, that's a good dog. I said, I put a lot of work in that dog.
Bird.
Well, she knew she was protecting me.
A lot of training went into that dog.
A lot of training.
All right, don't forget to leave your comment after we're done. And if we were to move this show to another night what night do you think would be the best night for you?
Also a good question. And I know that somebody said that Trump would be cool. I don't think he's going to come on. I'm just going to put that out there. I mean, we can send a message, and he does respond on Twitter. So if you guys keep on asking him and see if he'll come on, that'd be great. Otherwise, leave your comments on YouTube.
All right, see you guys later.
Love you.
Bye, everybody. Be safe.
I got to go outside and pee real